Opponent summoning Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. Opponent, hold on a second. You have passed up all your negates to deal 2,000 damage? There's no way they can do this 4 times. We're gonna find out.
Konami, stop hurting Fluenderese.
Welcome to another video. Today we are playing in the Duelist Cup with new upgraded Fire Hydrant Rescue Ace. That's right. And if you've watched my channel before, you know Rescue Ace is a water deck because the Fire Hydrant spits out water. That makes it a water deck. Opponent playing Big Welcome Labyrinth. Going first. We're going to Ash Blossom that Big Welcome Labyrinth to stop them from summoning a Labyrinth card from the deck. And thanks to the new Fire support, including the Diabell Star, we are able to summon our Fire Hydrant a lot more consistently. We got basically 6 new searchers for the Fire Hydrant. So let's get activating. And I have not seen anyone else play the Fire Hydrant deck. Opponent very rudely just activated a skill drain, a no skill drain, limited to 1. Luckily, we can link into a Linkuriboh, and we can activate Rescue, resummoning the Fire Hydrant. And you'll notice we have not used our normal summon. If all the monsters have no skill, then the best monster is the biggest monster, and we happen to have the biggest monster around in town. That's right, normal summon Nibiru, tribute summon the Hydrant. This is how you play top tier fire/water Fire Hydrant decks. Alright, you normal summon Nibiru token. Opponent, no responses. Love to see it. Back to our turn. Super Poly, actually quite good against Labyrinth. We will need to draw an additional card though. Opponent taking the 3,000 damage. They're all the way down. They will die if they do nothing. Opponent setting. Alright, now this deck, this build of the deck was constructed after I rage edited the deck to remove a lot of copies of Maxi, because Maxi always getting countered. I was like, you know what, that's enough of the Maxi. I'm going to put in 3 copies of Nibiru, and we'll see what happens. And this is the result. Opponent setting their Ash Blossoms. If we'd activated a Maxi, alright, to draw cards, what would we be in this situation? It would not be here. We'd be dying, alright? And we'd be getting negated, and we'd be dying, and Maxi obviously cannot attack over the set Ash Blossom, but Superior Nibiru can. That is why you play Nibiru, and that's why we got the second Nibiru in the hand. Opponent activating Labyrinth Stoby Torby. Now make sure you stick around, alright, because if Labyrinth manages to stop us, it's all good. We'll be playing more of the Fire Hydrants, and I'll have the deck list at the end of the video. And, you know, if Nibiru token or normal Nibiru makes it the whole way, I think you got to subscribe. Opponent summoning the Lady Labyrinth. We are going to get crashing. And we got some lines here, alright? Imperm cannot be activated because Skill Drain already negates the monster effect. So a monster that's already negated can't be negated. Why is that? I don't know. That's just the way Konami made things, alright? We do have original Sinful Spoils, which we can send a face-up card we control to special summon a level 1. So we can send our Rescue Ace HQ face-up card, summon our Fire Hydrant. Obviously the Fire Hydrant will still be negated, but it is a line, it is an option. Opponent activating Labyrinth Stoby Torby, and that is a mistake. Now they have 2 monsters on the field. Let's discard our Superior Nibiru token. Fusion summon opponent's board into a Garura. Super Poly it up, and that is lethal damage. Nibiru token carrying us in that game, alright? That's why I mean Nibiru, alright? That's why you Nibiru. Let's go on to the next game. This is before I replaced one of my 2 of my Maxis with Nibirus. But we got the Rescue Ace Fire Hydrant. We're going to activate the alert now that we have the Fire Hydrant. Search for the plane. And that's going to get 2 Rescue Ace cards in the graveyard. We got the spell and the monster, so we can activate the Turbulence. Summon itself. Summon the Fire Attacker as well, because we special summon a Fire Monster, or a Rescue Ace monster. We're going to activate set our back row. Set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, and all of these cards are great. Rescue summons a Rescue Ace from the graveyard. Extinguish pops a card opponent controls. Reinforce protects one of our Rescue Aces from being destroyed for the rest of the turn. And if it's destroyed, it is not destroyed as well. So if it gets destroyed somehow, it doesn't. Instead, Contain negates a monster effect, also stops from attacking. So we got 4 pieces of interaction here. Very sick. We could do some more plays. We could go into the Promethean Princess, resummon the Rescue Ace Turbulence, but instead of doing that, we're going to leave the Fire Attacker on field, because if opponent searches for a card, Fire Ace Attacker is going to draw 2 and discard card. That's some pretty good filtering. So let's just leave it on the field. Opponent Super Poly. Super Poly makes me so sad, but luckily it's okay. We got Rescue still. Super Polying our board. A lot of people playing Super Poly, you get around Snake Eyes. Is going to make it so we have no Rescue Aces on the field, which means we can't activate our traps. So that's why it's always important to search for a rescue. Opponent turning our monsters into a Garura. We're going to immediately rescue. We're going to undo what opponent did. But opponent has the Mudora Shuffle. Alright, you know what? That may stop what we're doing, but I believe we're not going to give up. We're going to let the opponent do their turn here. It's Tearlaments. Tearlaments activating a fusion deployment. We're going to max C. We're going to start drawing, and Meteor is here. All right, this is why Meteor stocks are up. Meteor stocks are way up. That's my personal opinion. All right, opponent playing the Tearlaments, activating their effect to mill 3, activating the effect of the Tearlaments to send a Sheeran to the graveyard, activating the effect of their trap in the graveyard. The trap is going to let them search for the field spell. Field spell dimensions. Vsauce. Michael Vsauce is here. Opponent fusion summoning the Kiklos. Kiklos drawing us into that Ash Blossom thanks to Max C. We could negate the Kiklos effect to search, but instead, let's activate Impulse effect to summon a Rescue Ace from the deck. That's going to turn on all of our Rescue Ace traps. That right, you thought our traps were done. They are not done. Rescue Ace Fire Engine is here. If opponent special summons a monster, we can special summon a level 4 or lower Rescue Ace monster from our hand deck or graveyard. That means we can get another Rescue Ace on the field. We can get our Searcher that searches for a spell trap, or we can get another copy of the Fire Hydrant. Opponent, Kiklos, sending Kashtira to the graveyard. Milling 2, activating Primeval Planet to search for a Rhino Heart. Have they normal summoned? They have not. Activating Kiklos, effect to send itself to the graveyard and summon a Tearlament from the graveyard or hand. We're going to negate with Contain, which will also stop the Tearlament's Kikalos from attacking. Opponent responding with a Super Poly. Alright, very interesting. This is their biggest monster. We don't know what they're Super Polying yet, but if we get to keep our Fire Engine, assuming opponent can't steal it somehow, opponent should not be able to attack over our Rescue Ace Fire Engine. We also still have a Pop and an Extinguish. I could respond to the Super Poly, except that you cannot respond to Super Poly. So let's just see what opponent does. They should probably fusion summon using their Tearlaments to make the Tearlament, whatever its name is, the one, I forget. What's the one? This one. Rolkolos. They should make a Rolkolos using Kiklos and the other Tearlament that they have on the field. We'll see what opponent actually does. Opponent. They really wanted to steal our Link Haribo and make a Dracosepelia, which is a negate. They do have a negate on this Dracosepelia, but of course they know we have the Pop, and opponent letting us draw more cards, get negated, and they are done. They have lost the will to duel. Love to see it. Rescue Ace, showing off why Rescue Ace is good. All right, you saw the recursion. You saw how many times we get our Rescue Aces back. Let's go on to the next game. Let me know what you think. Hand traps are best right now. I saw a lot of Tearlaments in this event. All right, grinding on the ladder, I saw a lot of Tearlaments. So I have edited my deck list a little bit to be better against Tearlaments. Who knew Tearlaments was still tier 1? We're going to Airlifter here and respond with our Fire Attacker. Opponent, of course, has the Max C. Now, we could let our opponent draw a billion cards by comboing, summoning our Rescue Ace, setting the 4 traps. But I'm just going to let opponent draw 1. We're going to activate our Fire Hydrant, and we're going to save our Turbulence for next turn. You can activate Alert, though. Just, get set up. Get set up. We got 1 negate. We got some bodies on the field. We don't have very much in the way of interaction other than our Imperm negate, but we'll see what happens. Opponent playing Diabellstar. Are they Chads playing Rescue Ace as well? Well, they're probably not. All right, the other thing you'll see a lot of in this event is the Snake Eyes. So we'll see if opponent is playing the Snake Eyes. In response to that summon, we're going to activate our Quick Effect Hand Trap in the hand. That's right, Rescue Ace has its own archetypal hand traps to summon a Rescue Ace Turbulence from the deck. Opponent, set in the original Sinful Spools. Is it Snake Eyes? Let's find out right now. That's a Jet Synchron. That's not a Snake Eyes. 1-for-1. Discarding effect Veiler. Getting the Snake Eyes Ash. Alright, negate the Ash. Ash negate. That'll stop him searching Poplar. And hopefully stop him from comboing as hard. Opponent, you're negated. What are you going to do? They're activating Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils in the graveyard. Effect to draw a card. It's not enough that it summons a monster from the deck for free without using your normal. It also draws you a card. So balanced, so fair. Hita, stealing our Rescue Ace Impulse, very rude. Negating our Turbulence. That was not doing anything. That's fine. Promethean Princess is here. Resummoning the Jet Synchron. Opponent activating, getting the Snake Eyes Ash. Using its second effect to tribute a monster summoned from the deck, the Snake Eyes Oak. Alright, you're talking about, alright, I'm going to give you a bit of a taste, alright? I'm going to give you a teaser, alright? Simp King's ban list prediction, alright? Because everyone's predicting that Snake Eyes, being very powerful, is going to get hit. And I agree, I think it is going to get hit. What are they going to hit? Snake Eyes Ash, I think they're going to hit this to 1. And my sneaky prediction is that they might ban Snake Eyes Oak. I know that ultimately, I think that's where this deck is going to get punished. Because they don't like to hit the URs, and Snake Eyes Oak seems like a little bit of an underrated card. You know, they usually play it at 1. But if they banned it, it will stop the extension potential. Snake Eyes Oak is here. Tributing to summon the Flamberge Dragon. Not activating Flamberge effect. Interesting choice. They could have pushed one of our monsters into the back row or set one of their monsters in the back row. Instead, just going straight into IP Masquerena, activating Flamberge effect in the graveyard, summoning the Oak, summoning the Ash again, and then linking into the Swarm Ship. Okay, Swarm Ship is here. Opponent, going into the Zeolantis. Not sure if that's really what you want to be doing, opponent. You have no fire monsters on the field. If they had a fire monster, Princess would activate if we summoned a monster and it would pop. But the Zeolantis is a water monster, opponent. You gotta learn how to play water by watching my channel. Opponent banishing all monsters on the field. Resummoning them all for no benefit except they trigger the effect of my Rescue Ace Airlifter. Thank you, opponent. Yeah, just resummon all those in attack position, I guess. Why not? We get to search for a rescue. Opponent realizes they've made a terrible mistake. They should be playing a water deck like Rescue Ace, and they concede. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, you might be wondering, what is Rescue Ace even about? Why are we playing Rescue Ace? What makes it good? Let's show you right now. Because I've shown you a lot of silly nonsense. But let's show you what Rescue Ace actually is all about. Let's summon that Fire Engine, summon that Hydrant, link him off into the IP Masquerena, so we have 2 Rescue Ace cards in the graveyard. Activate Turbulence, and when you have Turbulence on field, Turbulence is going to let you activate set for back row, except opponent negating. Alright, opponent negating with the Psyframe Gamma Gear. Gamma Gear negate. Well, that's not what we really wanted to be doing, but, you know, that's okay. Let's activate Diabellstar Black Witch. Black Witch activate. Opponent also has effect Veiler. You know what? That's okay. We're actually going to let this go. We could call by the grave here. But instead, we're just going to let it go. Let it get negated. And we're going to link into the Princess. Princess get back the Turbulence. Sadly, Turbulence once per turn. But now we have Turbulence on the field. Hopefully we live. Just kidding. We're going to go into the Swarm Ship. Swarm Ship is here. Alright? Because Princess really wanted the graveyard. Now, if opponent summons anything, we get to pop it, and we get to resummon the Princess. We also have the Call by the Grave to negate banish their card in the graveyard. So we'll see if this is good enough. Not what we wanted, but still pretty solid board. Opponent with the Super Heavy Samurai. Samurai it up. Activating to search. Activating the Super Heavy Samurai. Equipping. And sending to the graveyard to link summon. Now, this is actually pretty sick because opponent Samurai activating the graveyard. They also summon, so we can respond Promethean Princess, pop our Swarm Ship, pop the Super Heavy Samurai before it activates, and then also Call by the Grave, banish the Super Heavy Samurai Soul Piercer. So let's do both of those things. Promethean Princess activate pop. Oh, so sad. Opponent having the Ghost Bell means we will not get to negate the Soul Piercer as well. So, oops. I guess we do get to negate the... hand trap. The Ghost Bell negated, so we do summon the Princess. Do pop the Super Heavy Samurai. They have used their normal summon, but if you've seen this deck before, it does not matter. If you pop a card, they are able to continue their summoning. So let's see opponent getting the penduluming it up to summon a monster from, or activate a pendulum skill from the deck, and summon a monster for free. Going into a Synchro 12, activating, resetting, and this is, you may not realize it, looking at this, it's 4,000 attack, it's in defense mode. All the Super Heavy Samurais attack in defense mode, and extra effect, opponent's Super Heavy Samurai in the hand, but boosting the attack all the way to 8,000, and then activating the effect of the Super Heavy Samurai General Coral to let them attack a second time. Luckily, we do have the out for this. Activate the Swarm Ship. Because our link to 3 or lower monster was destroyed, we can pop. And when you pop a spell that's activating on the field, that's a continuous spell, that negates it. Because that's just the way Yu-Gi-Oh's rules work. And, you know, if I were in charge, that would not work. But Konami doesn't listen to me. We actually could have drawn an out here. We had a lot of outs, alright? Bellstar Black Witch would have been an out. Any of our Fire Hydrants would have been an out to this boy here. But sadly, we did not draw the out. So, sad days. Opponent can attack us for lethal damage, and that is game. But next time, the Fire Hydrants will be showing off what they can do for real this time. We haven't been able to set our back row traps. But if we can set our back row traps, opponents are just, they're done for. They're just completely done for. Let's go on to the next game. We got a bunch of spell nonsense. Luckily, Run to the Seeker of Simple Spoils will let us search for the Rescue Ace starter. Opponent send 2 back row, activate a maximum C. We are going to negate the maximum C, which also negates our maximum C. One of the reasons why, you know, I don't even think Max C that great. Look, it just did nothing. Took a call by the grave out of our hand. Alright. Let's activate the spell. Search for the Diabellstar. Diabellstar going to discard this useless Max C to summon itself and search for the Snake Eye spell. Original Simple Spoils. Let's send that Diabellstar to the graveyard, get our Fire Hydrant. Hydrant is here. Let's draw a singular card. That card is ridiculous. Alright. Activate the Fire Hydrant. Search for the Airlifter. Normal summon Airlifter. Airlifter, get the spell opponent. Super Pawing our board. They probably think we're done for here, but we got the alert and the rescue, and this does not negate. So Airlifter is going to search for a spell. Opponent Super Pawing. Stealing our board, making a Moo Dragon. I am not afraid. Let's get our Rescue Ace HQ. HQ is here. Let's start by rescuing. Opponent doesn't want to see it. They know it's over. Alright, we were going to rescue back our Hydrant, activate the Hydrant. Activate our Search Effect. Search for our Rescue Ace. Summon it. Set the back row. We got the field spell. We got everything we need. And opponent is done. Love it. Let's go on to the next game. After this, we're going to have some Sink or Swim. Rescue Ace, a very fun deck. Very powerful deck. They are missing one piece of support that Konami for some reason hasn't released yet. That is a spell that summons the Fire Hydrant from the deck. And that will make the deck probably in the tier 1 or 2 territory. Unless they ban some of the Snake Eyes cards before that happens. Let's link into the Masquerena. Summon the Turbulence. Leaving the Fire Hydrant in the graveyard. Fire Hydrant is just a card that we want to have at all times. Summon the Fire Attacker. Link into the Princess. Princess re-summon the Fire Attacker. Set our back row. Get set. And we can make the Amblo Whale. Amblo Whale it up. And this deck is very fun to play. Mostly because the combo is very simple. Alright, you're just searching your 4 spell traps. You're not wombo comboing for a million years. You're just doing summon Turbulence, set 4 back row. You know, it's fair and balanced. Not confusing. Easy deck to play if you're trying to grind games. Because one of the things I've said before, right, is when you're trying to grind, you don't want to be doing long combos. You don't want to be doing anything confusing. You want to be doing something that you can do quickly and easily and make sure your opponents are not tiring you up so you can grind on that ladder. We negated the Dragon Dark opponent. Fallen Albaz trying to fuse with our monsters. I do not think so. Let's extinguish. Pop the Fallen Albaz. A monster that is not on the field cannot fuse with itself if it's Fallen Albaz, so that is gone. Opponent activating. Thunder Dragon Hawk. Summoning the Dragon Dark from the graveyard. We're going to respond. Promethean Princess, pop it. if they had that card on the field, they could fusion summon into the Thunder Dragon fusion monster. That is just a contact fuse. That apparently is not a related card, but we know about it. The one that makes all the cards not searchable. Opponent searching for Thunder Dragon fusion. Activating Thunder Dragon, the old classic Thunder Dragon, in the hand. Activating it a second time to get all their Thunder Dragons. And what is the opponent going to do next? Probably activate the fusion. Thunder Dragon fusion. Fusion using monsters from the graveyard into the Titan. Titan is here. Alright, now, playing around the Titan, what do? When they activate a Thunder Monster effect in the hand, quick effect, they can destroy a card on the field. But they have to do it as a direct chain link above. So if we respond, we chain block them, they can't activate the Thunder Dragon Titan. Is that how this card should probably work? No, it should probably be able to respond whenever you activate a Thunder Dragon in the hand, but that's just the way Konami be. So let's just do things to stop them from activating. Contain. Negate the Thunder Dragon Titan. Opponent responding again with the Dragon Matrix. Let's respond again. Reinforce, protecting our monster, and literally all that does is block the chain, stopping them from responding and popping a card. So opponent, your Thunder Dragon is done. You got no cards left in the hand. Our Rescue Ace is big. You can hit our Promethean Princess, except you're not allowed to attack because we contained you. Opponent, going to battle, ending the turn, ending, passing to us, and it's going to be pretty easy to deal with the Thunder Dragon Titan from here. Let's just summon Amblo Whale, activate, reset our back row. That was a mistake. You're supposed to shuffle your back row back in with the Rescue Ace HQ first. I'm sloppy. I'm being sloppy. It doesn't matter though. Let's additionally normal summon the Airlifter. Get the alert. Summon the Hida. Activate our alert. Get back the Airlifter. Activate. Shuffle back into the deck, draw a card. And it's going to be very easy for us to clear this out. We're going to have to negate. But instead of negating, I realized something, alright? Instead of negating, got a better line. World Sea Dragon Zeolantis. What does it say? It says, must be fusion summoned or special summoned by banishing Thunder Monitor from your hand and field. And then that's it. That's what it says. Alright, now the subtext of that is you can't summon it by other ways. So we're going to banish it with our World Sea Dragon Zeolantis. And it is not allowed to be resummoned to the field. So opponent doesn't get it back. Very sad days. Zeolantis, the water monster. Alright, that's why this is a water deck. Showing off the power of the watery combos. Opponent, let's get smacked. Get smacking for lethal damage. Love to see it. Let's go on to the deck list, and then we'll have some synchro swims. Alright, here is Rescue Ace for the Duelist Cup. I did not see very much of the Rescue Aces, so if you see Rescue Ace or you love the deck, let me know what you think about it, how I should mix it up. We got triple the Fire Hydrant, we got one Max C, triple Ash Blossom, and you're like, wait, why Max? Why Max C at 1? It's because Nibiru very good against decks like Wombo Combo, and it does not. Nibiru does not usually get negated. Harder to negate Nibiru, alright? Triple Ash, triple Impulse. We got 2 Airlifters. We got the Fire Engine, we got the Attacker. We got Diabell Star at 2. We got 2 Rescue Ace Turbulence. Talked about Nibiru already. 2 Sinful Spoils. 2 copies of the Field Spell. 2 Super Poly. Very good trap or sideboard card that is main deckable at the moment. Everybody's playing either Fire, Snake Eyes, or Tearlaments. Both of the decks get kind of shreked. Well, not completely shreked with Tearlaments, but they get hurt pretty hard by Tearlaments by getting Super Poly, I should say. Alright, we got 2 Call by the Graves, 1 Cross Out, Designate 2 Rescues, 1 Alert, triple Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils, 1 Impulse, Imperm, having a rough day today, Contain, Extinguish, and Reinforce. In the extra deck, we got some Super Poly targets, Mood Dragon, Garura, Starving Venom, Link Haribo, Nightmare Phoenix, Salamangreat Wolf, Hida, IP Masquerena. We got Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda, who is here to activate Super Poly. You get 2 monsters on field, you can activate Verte. Summon the Verte and activate your Super Poly from the deck. Very spicy tech. We got Nightmare Unicorn, we got Princess, we got Amphibious Swarm Ship, Access Kotaker, the World Sea Dragon, Zeolantis, and Underworld Goddess. If you're playing this deck, how much this extra deck do you need? You don't need this, you don't need this. This is kind of a fun slot. This is a flex slot. This card you probably want to have, or at least a level 2, that link that you can make. You do kind of need Link Haribo. Sometimes you just want to get your boy in the graveyard. And these are super poly targets, so obviously if you cut super poly, you don't need those either. So if you want to play the deck, hand trap's obviously flexible, but you're going to need your 3 copies of the Fire Hydrant. And Fire Hydrant not in the shop right now. How do you even get this? Where do you even get this from? Hopefully you have it already. How to obtain? Master Pack. Yeah, thanks Konami. Print more secret packs. Maybe they'll reprint it one day. Alright, thanks for watching. Let's get on to the Sink or Swims. Alright, on to Sink or Swims. If you don't know how it works, we're going to watch replays sent in by the fans. If you want to send in a replay, you can send one in by looking at the video description. Also, you guys get to vote on what deck you think is the best in 2 Sink or Swims we're going to watch today. And you let me know in the poll which one you think won the Sink or Swim. Which is the sink, which is the swim. Today, a friend here is playing what looks like Crystal Girl, some sort of graveyard deck. Maybe it's Tillman's? But opponent is playing Gishkis. And what is opponent up to? Sprite Elf. Going to activate. That was a white mirror. Did they activate that? I wasn't looking. We're going to have to pay more attention. Again, Gishki Abyss. Gishki Abyss is a fish. Does white mirror say level 4 or lower fish? Interesting. Opponent activating their Gishki Shadow. Again, the Aqua Mirror. Now, Gishki is a very powerful deck going first. Salvage, getting back the Gishkis for free. That's a Pot of Greed. That is Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed with upside. Pot of Greed. They're going to activate that Gishki Vision. Searching for the Naramatis. Now, like I said, Gishki is a very powerful deck going first. They can set up some strong negates, a good link board. But Gishki is also a very powerful deck going second. Check out my channel. I have a video called Going Second Gishkis. And Going Second Gishkis was actually kind of nuts. It was way stronger than I expected. And it had a very powerful lethal line with your level 10 Gishkis by summoning a rank 10 Xyz monster. Opponent summoning a Grimness from the deck. Again, that effect is search for the Gishki. Opponent already going pretty wide. Again, a second copy of the Naramatis. Naramatis returns to the hand and is a monster negate. So they would be able to negate a Nibiru. At this point, I think they've summoned way more than 5 though. Opponent going into the Zealgigas. Usually what you would see going first. Zealgigas activating. Okay, this is, again, like I said, usually you want to activate Zealgigas going second, because you activate its effect, pay 1,000 life points, draw a card. You reveal it. If it's a Gishki, you shuffle a card from the field into the deck. So you get to keep the card, but they're going to have to shuffle one of their own cards into the deck in order to get that draw. World Legacy Succession. Special summons a monster from the graveyard. This is just Monster Reborn. This is Monster Reborn. Alright, my opponent drew a Monster Reborn. Opponent. Summoning Gigantic Sprites. Sprites, a very common combination with the Gishkis, who are all level 2, other than the rituals. Opponent just, hold on, opponent just Abyss Keepered and then summoned a Beautiful. So they are not done, or even activating their sprites yet. Again, another copy of the Abyss, get another copy of Gishki Shadow. Okay, opponent, are you done? I don't know what this combo is. If this is something they've been practicing, or if they're just freestyling, let's find out. So far, they've just made one negate. Summoning Naramatis, tributing the Naramatis, going to let Naramatis activate and resummon the Naramatis, but instead they're resummoning the Zealgigas, activating it to draw a card again. Opponent really digging. Forcing them to banish one of their own cards, banishing the fish, adding one of their ritual monsters back to the hand. Opponent, what are you up to? They didn't, hold on, they didn't activate Gigantic Sprite. They just activated Gigantic Sprite and then didn't even, like, they summoned it and then didn't even activate. Opponent summoning Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. Opponent, hold on a second. What is this? You're doing 2,000 damage? You have passed up all your negates to deal 2,000 damage? Opponent activating World Legacy Succession, resummoning their ritual monster to a zone the cross sheet points to, which is going to let them draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. Okay, opponent, very spicy. Card destruction. This has got to be some nonsense. Opponent activating Zealgigas again. Hold on, why didn't they have to banish a card? They just drew. Hold on, they just activated and drew, right? Activate, pay 1,000, draw a card, reveal a Gishki card. And then if you do reveal it, if it was a Gishki monster, shuffle a card from the field into the deck. Only if it's a Gishki monster. So they have to get lucky not hitting a Gishki to not banish a card from the field. Alright, spicy. Spicy. I gotta learn how Gishkis work. Opponent summoning the Naramatis again. Resummoning those Zealgigas. There's no way they can do this 4 times. We're gonna find out. Black Garden. Oh no. Opponent got a Black Garden. Never have I seen this card and it not be part of some degenerate combo. Konami, you gotta ban cards like this. Opponent giving us the token, the plant token. Resummoning their Gishki Abyss. Again, Gishki Vision. Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon has not activated yet, but that's the second one. And there's only 3, they can only have 3 copies of this. So maybe their plan is to just deal us 6,000 damage. Meteonis Drytron. Summoning Naramanus again. That's going to activate and get back the Gishki. How does opponent get lethal from here? I know this is some spicy combo, but how do they get lethal? Focused Aquamirror is here. Gonna let them add a Gishki monster to their hand. Getting the Gishki Ritual Searcher, the Spell Searcher. Aquamirror adding back the Ritual to the hand. Opponent. They've been practicing. This isn't the Duelist Cup, by the way. How do you do this and rank up? This is like a 1,000-year combo. Dreadnought Rail Cannon is here, dealing another 2,000 damage. Opponent Meteonis Drytron. They're going to do it again. Somehow they're going to do it again. Naramanus. How do they deal that last 2,000 points of damage? They've already summoned 2... hold on. They've summoned 3 of the Gustav Maxes, right? 1, 2, 3. They can't have a third. Sprite Sprint is here. Aquamirror is here. Summoning Naramanus. But if they have a way to shuffle their graveyard back into their extra deck, then maybe it's possible. Naramanus is here. Sprite Sprint is here. Detaching a material from an XZ and then targeting a monster on the field, returning it to the hand. They returned it to the hand, returning their monster to the extra deck. And there is the 4th Gustav Max popping for 2,000 damage. Well, Recipro Heat, you were not playing an amazing deck, but your opponent was. Thank you for sending that spicy replay. And you know what? You gotta respect, alright? You gotta respect when someone sends a spicy combo. So if you like this replay, you vote in the poll and tell me if this was a better replay. Let's go on to replay number 2. Alright, on to replay number 2. We got what looks like some Despia nonsense. Are we playing branded? We'll have to find out. Branded Runic. This is a very risky replay to send in on Simp King Sink or Swim because my audience loves fish decks only. But we'll see. Maybe we're doing something spicy. The Guiding Quem is summoning the Golden Sword Soul from the graveyard. We're getting our Runic Fountain. We're going to Coral Dragon. Alright, maybe this is the sort of spice that my audience will love. You gotta make sure to vote in the poll. Opponent is sitting there watching, doing nothing, while we draw 3 cards. Pot of Greed +1 with the Runic spell. Going into a Baran. That is not a water monster, but Coral Dragon is. Drawing a Runic spell, and we're Flashing Fire, summoning a Hugin. Get Hugin. Guiding Quem is a tuner. And we're going into Arion Post. That is the most unexpected Arion Post I've ever seen. Why did we banish Zep? Alright, look. Alright, I'm not going to tell you how to play if you're playing some sort of spicy Goaty deck. But why would you banish Zep when Zep is not one of the Goaties that comes back on the opponent's turn? We'll just have to find out. Golden Sword Soul activating, summoning Guiding Quem, and we're going into the Chungus. Chungus is here. Arion Post activating, searching for a Shift. And we're passing the turn. Alright, so if we were... I guess even if we summoned a Goaty here, it wouldn't have been able to synchro with anything because, well, actually, yeah, we could have summoned a Runic, and then we could summon into a 6, get the Arion Post. So, a bit of a misplay with our very non-Goaty deck list, but very spicy. Guiding Quem to in Goaties is not something I would have expected. Opponent playing Snake Eyes, get negated. Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils, getting negated, but the Snake Eyes Ash also here. And that's going to get searching for the Poplar. Is that really what you wanted to negate? Wouldn't it have been better to negate the Poplar? Who knows? Poplar's here. We're just going to get negating the Poplar with our Freezing Curses. Banish opponent's deck with the Runics. It is very, it's very fun to banish opponent's deck. It's very not fun to get your deck randomly banished. It is one of the most traumatic Yu-Gi-Oh experiences you can have. Diabellstar Black Witch summoning itself for free by discarding a card. That's going to get popped. Flashing Fire pop. and banish off the top of the deck. Opponent setting the sinful spoils. They can still activate and get an Oak, and Oak can resummon all of their little Snake Eyes. We're drawing 3. Just a ridiculous level of drawing here. Jet Synchron is back. Snake Eyes Poplar in the extra zone. Drawn into a Bestial, and the Bestial is going to Banish, targeting who even knows. I don't think it really matters. But opponent could not handle it, and they are done. Love to see it, maybe. All right, very light on the goatees, but goatees were here. You let me know which replay you think was the sink, which was the swim, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.
Did you know that you can now join the Sim King channel? It's going to give you access to all sorts of amazing perks, like early access to videos and some beautiful stickers. We got Frog, Jerry Beans, man. Just subscribe. It's easy. I made it the lowest price possible. $0.99 a month. That's Canadian Monopoly money. If you don't want to join the channel, you can still subscribe. You'll get access to all my videos and be notified when I come out with a new one. All right, let's go.